September 1944, Western France near the Lyre River. The autumn air carries the scent of rain-soaked fields and the distant rumble of American armored columns. In a small command post concealed among the forested banks, General Henning Sturr faces a dilemma that no officer wishes to confront. Behind him are nearly 20,000 German troops, a mixture of regular army units, garrison forces, and support personnel, all stranded hundreds of miles behind the front lines. Supply lines have been severed. Communication is fragmented. The once disciplined formations are fatigued, undersupplied, and trapped between the advancing Third Army of General George Patton and the natural barrier of the Lyre River. The strategic reality is stark. Escape to Germany is impossible. Resistance is futile, yet continued combat promises only death. Sturr understands this better than most. His options are grim, yet he must decide, and his choice will ripple far beyond his immediate command. At 6:14 a.m., reconnaissance reports reach Sturr's post. American armored spearheads are already 30 kilometers east, and fighter bombers dominate the skies, capable of striking columns with devastating precision. The Germans are exposed. Sturr commands troops trained primarily for occupation duty, not mobile defense against mechanized forces. Tanks, artillery, and the logistical ingenuity of the Third Army have turned the landscape into a corridor of impending doom. Any attempt to break through would be suicidal. He surveys his options. Attempting an offensive push toward the east is impossible. The terrain is dominated by American observation posts and air superiority. Dispersing into the countryside invites relentless pursuit by French partisans and U.S. units alike. Survival by evasion will exact a slow, costly toll on his men. The third option, surrender, though seemingly simple, is complicated. Hitler's doctrine equates capitulation with treason. Officers who surrender face execution, and their families risk punishment. Yet Sturr, a professional soldier rather than fanatic, calculates coldly. Continued combat would result in thousands of deaths for no strategic gain. By 7:22 a.m., Sturr initiates contact with American forces through intermediaries. He conveys a precise and measured message. He commands nearly 20,000 troops willing to lay down their arms, but he requests assurances in accordance with the Geneva Conventions. This includes a humane treatment of prisoners, proper military protocol, and protection against local reprisals. The communication reaches Patton's Third Army Command. The scale of the proposed surrender is unprecedented in this theater. Some American officers urge insisting on unconditional surrender. Why negotiate with a defeated enemy? Yet Patton assesses the strategic calculus differently. Each German soldier removed from combat without a shot fired represents a gain in manpower and territory. The potential cost is negligible. The gains are substantial. More importantly, he understands the psychological dimension. Demonstrating proper treatment of surrendered forces will encourage future capitulations, reducing combat casualties and operational strain. Patton authorizes the terms, directing subordinates to ensure the surrender is conducted strictly according to international law. No favoritism, no public humiliation, just professional and formal handling. The aim is clear. Create a precedent that emphasizes rational decision-making over fanatical resistance. By midday, the American logistical teams begin preparing to receive the surrendered units, organizing processing points, medical facilities, and POW transport schedules. The scale is immense. 20,000 soldiers require disarmament, inventory checks, and secure movement to internment facilities. Each step must adhere to strict protocols to prevent disorder or violent incidents. At 2:41 p.m., the German forces commence their march toward the American lines. They move in disciplined formations, approximately 800 men per column, maintaining the integrity of company-level units. At the forefront, Sturr and his staff officers maintain command continuity, ensuring the surrender is executed as a formal military operation. The Americans, anticipating potential resistance or last-minute deception, deploy reconnaissance units and infantry screening elements. However, no hostile action is detected. The air is tense, but the discipline of both sides prevents unnecessary escalation. During the march, technical analysis of the situation reveals key operational realities. Sturr's force, although substantial in number, lacks mobile armor and artillery support necessary to contest Patton's mechanized units. The Third Army, leveraging speed, firepower, and integrated air-ground coordination, maintains overwhelming superiority. The American columns consist of M4 Sherman tanks, each weighing approximately 30 tons, capable of 40 kilometers per hour on roadways, armed with 75mm guns, supported by mechanized infantry, and 105mm howitzers for indirect fire. Air cover provided by P-47 Thunderbolts capable of delivering 500-pound bombs with precision accuracy, ensuring that any attempt by German units to escape under fire would result in catastrophic losses. By 4:16 p.m., the formal surrender is underway at the crossing points near the Lyre River. Sturr delivers a concise, measured announcement. His forces are capitulating under conditions previously agreed upon. American officers receive the surrender with strict adherence to military protocol. Troops are systematically disarmed, separated into brigades for processing, and escorted to holding areas. Medics attend to the wounded, while logistics teams inventory weapons and equipment, noting the capture of over 200 vehicles, including trucks, reconnaissance cars, and light artillery pieces. The cost ratio of the operation is remarkable, an estimated expenditure of $8 million in American operational resources versus the removal of approximately 20,000 enemy combatants whose nominal equipment value exceeds $4 billion, a 500-to-1 operational efficiency ratio. During this period, the strategic impact becomes evident. Word spreads rapidly through German communication channels, both formal and clandestine, regarding professional handling of Sturr's surrender. Isolated garrisons and battalion-sized units, previously preparing for last-ditch resistance, now evaluate their circumstances differently. Intelligence officers record a pattern of increased surrender requests across Western France, reflecting the influence of Patton's calculated approach. Professional conduct, rather than punitive measures, proves to be an effective force multiplier. By 6:30 p.m., all units have been processed and are under secure custody. The American troops, while maintaining operational security, note the psychological effect on the battlefield. The orderly surrender reduces potential casualties, preserves resources, and allows the Third Army to redirect momentum toward the Rhine with minimal delay. Technically, the ability to integrate such a large capitulation into ongoing operational plans demonstrates logistical excellence and command foresight. Communication networks, supply lines, and medical processing units are synchronized to handle the influx without disrupting the broader operational tempo. In the days following, analysis confirms the broader strategic consequences. German units, observing the precedent set by Sturr, increasingly opt for surrender when operational reality dictates. American forces benefit from a reduced need for attritional engagements, conserving both personnel and material. The campaign advances more swiftly, and the tactical advantage of psychological operations, grounded in lawful, professional treatment of prisoners, becomes quantifiable. Patton's decision illustrates a critical principle. Respect for military law and humane treatment of surrendered forces is not merely moral, but an effective instrument of strategy. Sturr himself remains under custody in POW facilities for the remainder of the war, treated according to international law. Post-war proceedings in Germany initially consider him for punishment under Nazi doctrine. However, the pragmatic recognition of operational reality leads to his pardon. His decision to surrender, informed by military necessity and facilitated by Patton's adherence to professional conduct, underscores the interplay between tactical prudence and strategic foresight. Nearly 20,000 lives are spared, and the operational landscape of Western France is transformed by a single, disciplined decision. The surrender near the Lyre River exemplifies how operational command, logistical precision, tactical restraint, and adherence to international law intersect to produce outcomes far beyond immediate battlefield effects. Every unit processed, every soldier accounted for, and every interaction conducted according to established conventions amplifies trust, shapes enemy behavior, and preserves a momentum of strategic advances. The mathematics of war are unforgiving, yet Patton's choice demonstrates that the rational application of law and professionalism can yield decisive results without bloodshed. As the Third Army continues its rapid push toward Germany, the precedent established by Sturr's surrender resonates. Units previously inclined toward fanatical resistance calculate the personal and collective cost of continued combat. Where attrition might have consumed weeks of effort and countless lives, rational capitulation now removes impediments efficiently. The campaign in France accelerates, casualties diminish, and resources are conserved for the final push across the Rhine. Stur's surrender, far from being a singular event, becomes a model of operational influence, illustrating that strategic success often derives from enabling rational decision-making in the enemy command structure. Ultimately, the events of September 1944 near the Lyre River illuminate the dimensions of leadership that transcend raw aggression. Patton, already legendary for offensive brilliance, demonstrates that respect, adherence to law, and disciplined professionalism function as strategic weapons. The story of General Henning Stur and his 20,000 troops underscores the enduring principle that the most effective commanders understand the human element of warfare, that honor, law, and rational choice can be as decisive as artillery and armor. Military historians and strategists continue to cite this event as a case study in operational psychology, ethical command, and the integration of tactical, technical, and strategic considerations to achieve outcomes that preserve life while advancing mission objectives. The surrender of nearly 20,000 German troops to the Third Army under Patton remains one of the largest capitulations in Western Europe during World War II. It demonstrates that warfare is not solely the domain of destruction. It is the interplay of decision, discipline, and respect for established military codes. By facilitating the honorable surrender of enemy forces, Patton ensured that the campaign proceeded efficiently, casualties were minimized, and a clear message was sent. Adherence to the laws of war is both ethical and strategically advantageous. The lessons endure today for modern military operations, reminding commanders that tactical brilliance must be complemented by strategic wisdom and humane conduct. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Patton's approach to the surrender and treatment of POWs reflects true strategic brilliance, or is it merely adherence to military law with unintended operational benefits? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more in-depth analysis of pivotal decisions that shaped World War II.